Adam, a successful entrepreneur who had dedicated himself to building his wealth, always shared his prosperity generously with his new wife, Kinsley. Yet, as he sat in his lavish office, his mind swirling with tumultuous thoughts and emotions, recent events had shaken him to the core, casting doubt on the bedrock of his marriage. Gazing out at the bustling city below, he couldn't escape the profound sense of betrayal gnawing at his heart. It had all begun with a seemingly innocuous plan, a loyalty test in the guise of a homeless man knocking on his own door. But what he uncovered shattered his illusions and plunged him into a crisis of faith in his wife, Kinsley. The memory of her reaction haunted him, her words cutting deeper than any blade. "How dare you stand at my door, bringing filth into our lives? Leave at once, beggar, and bother someone else." The venom in her voice had struck him like a blow, leaving him stunned and speechless. How could the woman he loved, the woman he had pledged his life to, speak with such cruelty? But it wasn't just her reaction that had shaken him to his core. It was what he had seen through the kitchen window, a familiar face, a face he hadn't expected to see. Hazel, his former cleaner, standing in the kitchen as if she belonged there. The realization had hit him like a ton of bricks. Kinsley had been lying to him, deceiving him all this time. As he sat in his office, Adam couldn't help but replay the events of the past few days in his mind, searching for answers, searching for some semblance of understanding. How had it come to this? How had his marriage, once filled with love and laughter, turned into a web of lies and deceit? He thought back to the early days of their relationship, the whirlwind romance that had swept them off their feet. He had been captivated by Kinsley's beauty, her charm, her grace, and she had seemed equally taken with him, drawn to his wealth and success. They had been the perfect match, or so he had thought. But as the years had passed, Adam had begun to notice subtle changes in Kinsley's behavior, changes that had raised red flags in his mind. Her newfound obsession with material possessions, her disdain for those less fortunate than herself. It had all seemed so out of character, so unlike the woman he had fallen in love with. Yet he had brushed aside his doubts, telling himself that love could conquer all, that their bond was strong enough to withstand any storm. But now, as he sat alone in his office, he couldn't ignore the truth any longer. His marriage was crumbling before his eyes, and he didn't know if it could ever be salvaged. With a heavy heart, Adam made a decision. He couldn't continue living a lie, pretending that everything was fine when it clearly wasn't. He needed to confront Kinsley, to demand answers, to put an end to the charade once and for all. That evening, as they sat down to dinner together, Adam took a deep breath, steeling himself for what was to come. He couldn't afford to let his emotions get the better of him, not now, not when everything was on the line. "Kinsley, we need to talk," he said, his voice despite the turmoil raging inside him. "I know about Hazel, and I know about the man who came to our door the other day. I know you've been lying to me, deceiving me, and I can't ignore it any longer." Kinsley's eyes widened in shock, her facade slipping for the first time since Adam had known her. "Adam, she began, but he held up a hand to silence her. "I don't want to hear your excuses, Kinsley," he said, his tone firm. "I want the truth. Why did you lie to me? Why did you betray my trust?" Tears welled up in Kinsley's eyes as she struggled to find the words to respond. "I'm sorry, Adam," she whispered, her voice barely more than a breath. "I thought I was protecting you, protecting us. I didn't want you to worry, to be burdened by the truth." Adam shook his head, his heart breaking at the sight of her pain. "I don't need your protection, Kinsley," he said softly. "I need honesty. I need trust. Without that, what do we have?" For a moment, there was silence as they both grappled with the weight of his words. Then Kinsley spoke, her voice barely a whisper. "I don't know if we can fix this, Adam," she said, her words heavy with regret, "but I'm willing to try, if you are." Adam peered into her eyes, seeking any trace of the woman he had once adored. Amidst the tangled web of lies and disappointment, he glimpsed a faint spark of hope, a reminder of the love that once united them. With gentle determination, Adam clasped her hand, silently pledging to salvage their marriage, to mend what was shattered, and to reignite the passion that initially drew them together. He understood the road ahead would be challenging, yet he was prepared to embark on this journey for Kinsley, for himself, and for the future they had once envisioned together. What are your thoughts on this story? Share your opinions in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, Please give it a thumbs up and share it with your loved ones. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay updated with all our latest content. Thank you for watching.